Red Bull dominated the 2023 season, winning 23 out of 24 races and Max winning 10 races in a row. The 2024 was far from being the same story again, and this season that Red Bull car doesn't look anywhere near being a championship winning car. But that is not the only problem Red Bull has. Paris' performance didn't improve in 2024, and at the end of the season, Red Bull paid Paris a huge amount of money to end the partnership. They brought in Liam Lawson for the 2025 season, but after just 2 rounds, he was already replaced by Yuki Tsunoda, who made his debut at Suzuka this weekend for Red Bull. So where did it all go wrong? 2023 Spanish Grand Prix. To answer this question, we have to go all the way back to the 2023 Spanish GP, which started this massive domino effect of events. At the 2023 Spanish GP, Red Bull came with new upgrades for the floor. That upgrade started Perez his struggles with the car and those hidden aerodynamic instabilities that came with the upgrade. This would harm Red Bull later on in the season. It was the start of the domino effect of events. Christian Horner later admitted that Red Bull didn't take Perez's feedback so serious because Verstappen was still winning. In this case, you always follow the feedback of your main driver, and specifically when a driver is Max Verstappen. But Verstappen is that good that he drives around these issues, so Red Bull just went on with it. 2023 Singapore Grand Prix. Despite Red Bull's dominance, there was one race in that season where cracks began to show, and that was the Singapore GP. Red Bull arrived in Singapore with new underfloor modifications, but in free practice 1 they were already lacking pace because the floor of the car was super sensitive to ride height changes. Red Bull changed back to an older version of the floor, but this didn't help to solve the issues, and in qualifying they both got knocked out in Q2. Struggling all weekend, it saw the other teams taking advantage of it, and Carlos Sainz became the only non-Red Bull driver to win a race that season. The dominance Red Bull had that season overshadowed this problem, and there was a big warning sign missed by Red Bull. The issues remained. Red Bull shifted focus early in 2023 to the development of the 2024 car, the RB20, without really solving the issues they had in 2023. The RB20 inherited aerodynamic instabilities from the RB19. With Adrian Newey going to Aston Martin in 2025, he was slowly being forced out of his working office at Red Bull. Because of that, it meant he wasn't that much involved anymore to help Red Bull with their issues like he was before. Rivals closing in. Red Bull struggled to solve these issues. They introduced fixes in Imola, but this didn't help to solve instability under braking and cornering. The 2023 Spanish GP upgrade created a technical debt spiral. Rush development and cost cut constraints forced reactive fixes instead of proactive innovation. McLaren and Ferrari noticed Red Bull their struggles and came with targeted upgrades. Red Bull their dominance ended. Formula 1 is such a technical sport that one small misstep can create a domino effect of events. Their minor floor upgrade in 2023 ruined their whole design philosophy. It created issues they are still battling today. But this is still not all it. Christian Horner, the WhatsApp drama. It's the start of pre-season testing for the 2024 season when an anonymous email was sent to people within the F1 paddock. The email contained a Google Drive link with inappropriate WhatsApp messages that Horner wrote to a female employee within the Red Bull team. In the end, Horner got cleared from any wrongdoings, but this event again caused tension within Red Bull. Adrian Newey. Because of all this drama that was going on at Red Bull, it also played a role in Newey leaving the team. Helmut Marko admitted himself that the Horner situation didn't help. With Newey leaving the team, they didn't have someone anymore to solve the problems the RB20 had. Liam Lawson versus Yuki Tsunoda. At the end of the 2024 season, everyone thought Yuki would get the promotion to Red Bull. After Pierre Gasly left AlphaTauri, Yuki has beaten all his teammates, though more consistently, less incident, and worked hard on controlling his emotions during the races. He deserved to step up more than anyone else. But at the end of the day, Red Bull picked Liam Lawson. So why did they do that? Red Bull, Van Stoss and Helmut all backed Yuki in first instance to get the promotion. But it didn't happen because Horner wasn't convinced enough that Yuki was ready and could handle the pressure. He backed Lawson to get the promotion, but that wasn't the only reason he backed Lawson. Horner, who was still under pressure from the earlier events that happened against him, picked Lawson so he could hopefully say to the ones that backed Yuki, "Look guys, I'm right after all," and to get more power within the Red Bull organization. Lawson didn't put in the performance that was expected from him, and Red Bull decided to drop him and promote Yuki, a swap Horner had to agree on. Because if Yuki doesn't perform as well, Horner can say, "I told you guys that Yuki wasn't ready for the step up." And if Yuki does perform, Horner will still get the credits for working on this early swap. So whatever happens, Horner is the winner of this after all. Conclusion. Red Bull now have to play the catch-up game to still make a challenge winning one of the championship this season. They are now left behind with a very difficult and slow car, a second driver that has to perform. Because what will Red Bull do if Yuki can't put in the expected performance too? Verstappen isn't happy as well with all the chaos going on at Red Bull and has openly expressed it recently. If Red Bull don't improve their car and Verstappen can and does use his extra clause, Red Bull would have a real problem. Because there is nobody that can drive that car like Max can. What do you think will happen? Let me know down below.